Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganashadasham Tattvamasyarilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nityanandam. Hi, this is Ma Nitya Ovyananda, and today I'm filming another video, number 2 for today, regarding the Jivan Mukti or Living Enlightenment Jayanti. This amazing book has inspired millions of people around the world, has healed them and answered their questions now for almost a whole decade. In 2009, this book was released. So now we're coming upon the anniversary of this amazing book. So in my previous session, I was reading out a question to the book, asking a question, and I had the answer. Now I wanted to speak about something Swamiji's been talking about, but again, he was already talking about in this book. And that is about the enlightened society. So I wanted to share a couple excerpts and explain now what he's doing. See, back then, the Sangha was very young, but there were, thousands of people coming for programs all the time. So what he was talking about here is the enlightened society. So during the Vedic times in India, the whole society was based on enlightenment. 70% of the people were enlightened, and the remaining 30% were seeking or working towards enlightenment. So the arts, sciences, education, lifestyle, every sphere of life, every action was directed towards the ultimate experience of enlightenment. See, that's why Hinduism was created. So anyone who thinks otherwise, this is why it was created. So that everybody can experience that space and experience enlightenment. And so he continues, classical dances, traditional vocal and instrumental music, traditional architecture of temples and sculptures, classical paintings and art forms, the science of languages like Sanskrit, the sciences of astrology and Vastu, the unique Gurukul system of education, traditional ceremonies right from the birth through marriage to death. Every single activity in every dimension of life was an was an expression of the enlightenment of the great seers, as well as a means to get enlightened. So every part, that is why as a sannyasi, we're living that lifestyle. Everything we do has the potential to kick us into enlightenment. Everything we do is revolved around that. In the Agamas, Sadashivatva shares the enlightenment lifestyle. And that's what we're implementing. That's what Swamiji has revealed to us and given it to us as our lifestyle in the Nityananda Sampradaya. So it's amazing. Then he was talking about it. Now he's even bringing it more into that detail by using the Shastras and giving that and revealing that to the world. Of course, he knew back then what it was all about, and he knew what the Agamas said. But only now he even further wants to go into it. That's how much he cares, and that's how much he wants to share with the people about Hinduism, about Sanatana Hindu Dharma. He's not just here to teach a few, truths, but he's here to give the experiences, give the powers of Sadashiva, give that actual lifestyle, so that the whole world can be propelled into that higher state of consciousness. It's really amazing. So he continues to evolve it for us, but it's already been there and he's already discussed it. So amazing, like what he's doing now. And then he used to talk more about enlightenment. See, as people change, as the seekers evolve, then he can reveal more and more. He's not going to tell us about certain things back then because we weren't maybe ready for it at that time. But as we evolve as seekers and as his disciples, more and more he'll reveal these things to us. So now it's not only about sitting around meditating and calling it enlightenment, but now it is actually, he's giving us that experience and giving us the tools to stay in that space of oneness. And the tools are actually the Shaktis, the powers of Sadashiva that Swamiji initiates us into. And I feel that the powers are the bonus, but the core of it is that feeling of oneness, that Vedic space, what all of the masters speak about, is getting into that understanding that you are Shiva. You are Shiva, you are consciousness. The Krishna consciousness people, the Hare Krishnas, they talk about that, Krishna consciousness, the Vaishnavites, the Shaktas, you know, and of course we know that it's being one with Shiva, becoming Shiva, being Shiva. We are Shiva. We are that consciousness already. So the whole thing is about that, about getting into that space. So, and it just amazes me. I keep coming on all these things. Maybe I'll just go over this book every day for a while because it's so entertaining for me. I hope it's a little entertaining for you also, because it's a very important book, and I'll list this book on the comments. Again, Living Enlightenment. You can download it for free and start reading it now. So he talks again about the importance of India itself. See, India has always been a spiritual incubator for enlightened beings. So he says, India is the spiritual incubator that produces enlightened masters. So, for example, he says, for a premature baby, you need an incubator where you can maintain the correct atmosphere, oxygen, food, and heat, and take care of the baby until it can survive on its own. In the same way, for an enlightened being to land on the planet Earth and completely express his enlightenment and share it with the world, he needs an incubator. India is that spiritual incubator that nurtures the enlightened beings, because the very societal structure of ancient India was created only for that inner science, research, and enlightenment. So every sphere of life, personal or professional, was only to experience the ultimate state that is enlightenment. To this day, the society of India is best suited to nourish the seeds of enlightenment and grow enlightened beings. So even now, I mean, there's been a lot of things in the news, a lot of anti-Hindu, anti-spiritual elements trying to degrade the system, degrade all of that beautiful culture, that beautiful society that was already built for that purpose. Because people do not want empowerment of people. They don't want that. So they're trying to destroy Hinduism, basically. Let's just put it bluntly. So there's a lot of that been going around, but I'm telling you, the fabric is still there. The core of that is still there, and it's still in the people's DNA. It's still in people's hearts. And it's why so many Westerners and other people have come back home to India. For whatever reason, we decided to take birth in a different place, a different country entirely, a different continent. But we've come back to India because now is the crucial time in which the people of the world, the Hindus, the people who want to raise themselves in consciousness, raise their level of being, those people from around the world, no matter where you're from, need to come to India and gather together to help the planet Earth, because it's a critical time. And it's a time to step up, to call forth, and to protect this important, and it's more than important, it is a vital lifestyle that has been laid down by the ancestors tens of thousands of years ago. So it must be done. And this book is amazing. You must read it, and you'll get more clarity. And in Swamiji's birthplace, Tiruvannamalai, that is like one of the main ultimate incubators for enlightened beings. So many great masters have been born there and raised there. And Swamiji also was. And he even talks about, 50 to 100 enlightened beings he hung around, in his normal everyday life. To him, it was normal and everyday experience. But unfortunately now, there's been such a influx, of Western culture, for whatever reason, people think that that's the way they should be. They've gotten into the Maya, into the delusion. So it's our job to help people reestablish their roots in the Vedic tradition. And not only that, but reestablish who they are, the conscious beings that they are. So that's what we're doing. And that's why we're sharing so much with you. It's a very important thing. And it's a very amazing and just completely shows how much love and compassion Swamiji has for all beings. Because he's just completely is always giving his time and his energy to that, to only being with people and teaching people. And he's always there. I mean, I know for a fact he doesn't sleep. Of course, if he does lay down and rest, he's only in samadhi. But only that for maybe a couple hours a day. but he's built his body to such a strength to hold that energy and to maintain, because he's made the decision. He's ferocious with himself. He made the decision that he is here to do that work. And so he even says how for more than 120 years, 130 years, he'll be in the body doing this work, radiating that Sadashiva energy and reaching as many people as possible. So I'm just grateful to be with Swamiji in this life and thereafter as a sannyasi of Nityananda Sampradaya. So thanks again for watching today. Please download the book at books.nityananda.org, and I'll include the direct link in the comments. Until then, please live enlightenment. Come to India and meet Swamiji. Take the Inner Awakening program or the Mahasadashivoham program, and enjoy not only your own personal growth, but enjoy the beauty and celebratory lifestyle of Hinduism. Thank you, Nityanandam.